Delta Pine, Stoneville, all the big companies have an interest in wanting us to grow their varieties. Of course, they're after seed, and I have to remind all of our stockholders that we're in the ginning and lint business, not the seed business. But it does help, you know, with the varieties that we know. But we've had some varieties that we plant, they just don't produce. But and you get burned with those. I mean, we had one last year made a bale to the acre, which that we lose our tail on that. But we ear note that one, and we don't plant that one again. Now this is where the trash comes out, is on this side, and it goes into these trailers, and then we actually sell the trash. Now we used to just, farmers would take it and spread it on ground, like real sandy ground, and work it into the ground. But we actually pile that over here now, and they pay us $15 a ton for it, which don't sound like very much, but it's still just a product that normally we gave away. And so
what do they use it for?
It is correctly is supposed to be not fed, but it is bedding, you know. So where it goes after here, I can't tell you. Well, I can tell you it goes to bedding is what it goes to.
But they probably do eat it.
There's one thing that is involved in cotton seed work. Yeah, bedding for animals. But the one thing that's in our feed industry with the seed, when most of it that doesn't go to safe seed is all marketed as feed for cattle feed, dairy feed, or so forth. Of course, the dairy feed side of it would be the very high end, the clean seed, which is, because you can feed, we have an aflatoxin problem, which most of you, well, some of you probably have heard of aflatoxin. And so our seed will only required for dairy feed is 20 parts per million, which is not much. So it's got to be basically clean. And then for feeding regular cattle is 300 parts, which in some cases we can run as high as 1,000 parts. So anything that runs over that, really, that's going to go to a dairy has to be taken, and we put it in these cylinders, and you put huge cylinders, and then you inject NH3 or ammonia into it, and it will kill the aflatoxin. And so then it's able to be fed. Historically, this gin will produce 25% of it is for dairy, and the rest is too dirty. And this year, though, is a bad aflatoxin year, and 0 was for dairy. And so it just, aflatoxin from year to year is a problem. And that will carry into the trash too. That's why we can say we don't test trash. That's why we sell it as bedding, not as feed. There's not an oil plant left in the state of Arizona. You know, back in the South, a lot of that seed just goes directly to oil mills, and that's what ours used to do. But another statement that I made that I would have lost a lot of money on was years and years ago, in the cost of ginning your crop, what you always wished at the end of the year is your cottonseed would pay for your ginning. So then it was basically that was the way you looked at it. Your seed paid for the ginning, so there was no added cost. And so I made the statement that if I'd give my seed away for the rest of my life if I knew it was going to take care of my ginning. And well, since then we have made a lot of money in the seed business, and I'm glad I didn't do that. See, there's some wheat here that was planted after some of the very earliest stuff, so you actually have some wheat here that was planted in December that's already up. used to grow a lot of all red wheat, but then when the durum came in, it was kind of a high-end wheat that we made more money. But historically, the yields on the durums aren't as good as our red wheats. But it's just kind of, no one grows any red wheats here anymore. It's all durum. We were selling durum wheat for $400 a ton 3 years ago, and in that 380, 360 range, and all the contracts this year are at 270. Do everything by ton here, so it's hard. And like a lot of people always say, well, how's that in bushels? And I grew up in the ton world and not bushel world. Oh, is that right? That's kind of a rough number that I use. These crops that they plant here, like on these long beds here, this is probably spinach, and when you plant it kind of toward this time of the year, and they'll plant spinach probably for even almost another month here, and the warmer it gets, it can be only a 30-day crop for that baby spinach to come through, and that's all machine harvested with these little saw machines, and they can cover a lot of ground. We're kind of proud of our college here, Arizona Western. You know, they've become a 4-year affiliation with actually with NAU a few years ago, or quite a few years ago, and then the U of A has stepped up, and you can get also, actually you can get the contract, or you can get a U of A bachelor's degree here now, and the other thing is from the experimental farm where we were actually down there this morning. There's what we're doing is really trying to expand that, because really truthfully in the state of Arizona, the agricultural total amount is somewhere in 40% of the gross revenue in agriculture is produced in Yuma County for the state of Arizona. So we're really trying to expand some of that there, and to moving forward into building a program with the U of A here in Yuma. I think that little building right back over there was where the ag deal was in 1969, and then when I was going here. Actually, I think the AWC Culinary is actually preparing your lunch, and they have done a great job over the years, and around Yuma, there's some of the graduates all working. If you're, I'll throw one more advertisement out here. Spanky's Chop House in Yuma is, I think, a graduate of AWC's, and serves a pretty good meal there. So, but they do a very good job.
He owned a different place that was really good, but then I think they moved, and then everybody's got mixed results there now. He's not always cooking.
Very much for all your interest and participating in this. Hope to see you again next year. And I'm hoping to stay and eat lunch with you. They don't run me off. So anyway, no, it really means a lot to us to see the interest in everything and everybody and enjoying the tours. So so thank you again.
Police here, they can't buy us. Yeah, he sat there for quite a while. Now he's letting this go around. Talking to the bus driver. Might have been.
Does he know me? The dorm rooms are on the opposite side.
That's where Rob's going.
No,
No.
well, I mean not that one, but yeah, I'm going to school here. Yeah.
Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get out of the bus here and go down to the end where you see those flower planters. There are some picnic tables set up over there. If you need to use the restroom, we'll go in the doors. I'll guide you as we get off the bus as to where to go. When you come out of the restroom, if you want to get some water or iced tea or something, you're welcome to do so. But before we eat, we'll have you sit down so that we can talk to you a little bit about the culinary students and what they do. And then we'll dismiss you for lunch.